I don't think robots are going to rule the world in my lifetime. I'll put it in that way, I think. And the reason I think that is because at this point I don't think either the software or the technology is yet advanced enough that they are capable of doing that, firstly. Secondly, we've created them, and I think it's going to be difficult for the creation to rule the creator. And fourthly, I'm an internal optimist. I would actually hope that the people creating robots and artificial intelligence will build in some safeguards to make sure that they don't rule the world. On initial inspection, a financial institution might feel threatened by robo-advisor because the robo-advisor looks like it is going to replace the financial institution. You know you can feed in your information to a robo-advice platform and it is going to be objective, consistent, thorough, and it ought to give you at the end of the day the exactly perfect advice for your financial circumstances that is going to enable you to maximise your financial outcomes in the long term. That's the theory. Robo-advisors have consistency. They have algorithms. They're open 24/7, so you can obtain your financial advice at 10 p.m. on a Sunday night if you feel like it. They're online, they're easy and accessible. Those are the sorts of things that I think financial advisors are currently lacking and which robo-advisors have. Financial advisors have clients in spades, and robo-advisors at the moment are struggling to acquire clients. And what the majority of robo-advisors haven't taken into consideration is how much it costs to acquire a client. So the cost of acquisition of a client online is extremely expensive. And the majority of robo-advisors have kind of taken a thumbnail stab in the dark. It's going to cost me roughly $50 to acquire a client. In reality, the cost of acquisition of a client is more like between $100 and $500, depending upon what your online marketing strategy is. More expensive than what's been taken into consideration, with a few very notable exceptions, I have to say. There are some online entities that are acquiring their customers far more cheaply than that. But even Uber, for example, costs $50 to acquire a client. The second thing that I think a financial advisor has that a robo-advisor lacks is trust. In order to build trust, it requires human interaction. It requires a facial expression, eye contact, a first impression. You don't have any of that with your computer. You can simulate some of it, and I have seen how it's being simulated with robotics and with artificial intelligence. And I think if they start to refine that, they may actually start building an element of trust. But at the moment, you have a relationship, a warm, interacting, hopefully, relationship with your financial advisor. You don't have that with robo-advice. And it's, I think, for those two main reasons, the cost of client acquisition and the element of trust, that we're starting to actually see a shift in robo-advice, which is it is starting to become a B2B or a business-to-business proposition and less of a B2C or business-to-client proposition. And it'll be interesting to see if that trend, which is a starting trend, whether that continues to play out or whether we do start to see some of this artificial intelligence within robo-advice, enabling the robo-advisors to build more of that trust in an online environment. Well, I think if a financial advisor is using a robo-advice tool, that should actually be a very strong combination, because you have then both the trusted relationship plus the objective ability to provide analytics and advice to your client on the basis of that objective analysis of data. So a robo-advice ought to be a very powerful tool in the toolkit of the financial advisor in helping the financial advisor build the relationship with the client and provide the best advice for the client's needs.